Zara Kane stood at the viewing window of the Stellar Harmony, watching the stars blur as the ship moved through space. Her yellow eyes with vertical pupils reflected the starlight. 5 years on this ship, and she still felt alone. "Officer Kane, the captain wants to see you," said a soft voice behind her. Zara turned to see crew member Nell, who took a small step back. Nell always did that. Everyone did. They couldn't help it. "Thank you. I'll go now," Zara said, keeping her voice quiet. She had learned to speak softly. Her natural voice scared the others. As she walked through the curved hallways of the ship, other crew members moved aside. Some tried to hide their fear with smiles. Others didn't bother. Zara was used to it. The scales on her arms caught the light as she moved. They were a deep green with a pattern of gold. On her home world of Severax, these scales were normal. Here, they made her different. They made her scary. Severax was what the Council called a death world. It had high gravity, extreme heat, and many dangerous animals. To survive there, Zara's people had evolved to be strong and tough. Her muscles were dense, her skin was covered in protective scales, her teeth were sharp, and her nails naturally grew into claws. The other races on the ship came from garden worlds with perfect weather and gentle gravity. Their bodies were soft. Their skin was thin. They broke easily. Zara reached the captain's door and pressed the entry button. "Come in," called Captain Lyra Voss. The captain's office was small but neat. Captain Voss sat behind her desk, her pale blue skin almost matching the ship's walls. Like most Aryan people, she was thin and delicate. "You wanted to see me, Captain?" Zara asked. "Yes, Security Chief. We've picked up a distress signal from Sector 87. It's coming from an uncharted area near the rim," Captain Voss said. She touched a screen, and a map appeared in the air between them. A red dot blinked on the edge of known space. "Any information about who sent it?" Zara asked. "None. The signal doesn't match any known patterns. It could be a new species," the captain said. "We're the closest council ship, so we must check it out." Zara nodded. This was normal work for the Stellar Harmony. They explored space and made contact with new worlds. "I want you to lead the away team," Captain Voss said. This was also normal. Whenever there was danger, Zara was sent first. Her body could survive things that would kill the others. "We don't know what's waiting for us there," the captain continued. "The planet has high radiation readings. Most of the crew would die within hours of exposure." "But I won't," Zara said. It wasn't a question. "No, your people evolved with natural radiation protection. You should be fine for at least a day," Captain Voss said. "Take Foster and Lynn from science. They'll wear protection suits." Zara nodded again. Foster and Lynn were good scientists, but they were always nervous around her. "And Zara," the captain added, using her first name, which was rare, "remember to be gentle with them. They're not like you." "I know, Captain," Zara said. After 5 years, she definitely knew. An hour later, Zara stood in the shuttle bay, checking her equipment. Foster and Lynn arrived in their bulky protection suits. They looked like walking bubbles. "The radiation levels are higher than we thought," Foster said, his voice coming through a speaker on his suit. "Are you sure you'll be okay without protection?" Zara smiled, trying not to show too many teeth. "My whole planet is like this. I'll be fine." As they boarded the small shuttle, Zara felt the familiar feeling of being different, of being feared, of being the monster that protected the soft ones. She had no idea that soon she would meet someone who understood exactly how that felt. The shuttle flew through space toward the source of the distress signal. Zara sat in the pilot's seat, her clawed fingers moving across the controls with care. Behind her, Foster and Lynn whispered to each other inside their suits. They thought she couldn't hear them. But her ears, like everything else about her, were better than theirs. "Do you think it's a trap?" Foster asked. "The captain wouldn't send us if she thought that," Lynn replied. She sent Zara, Foster said. She can survive almost anything. Zara pretended not to hear. She was used to this. To them, she was a tool, a weapon, a shield of scales and muscle to protect their soft bodies. The shuttle's computer beeped. They had arrived. There, Zara said, pointing at the screen. It's a ship. The vessel was small, maybe big enough for 5 people. It floated in space, its engines dark. Part of its side was torn open, probably from hitting space rocks. It doesn't match any known designs, Lynn said, looking at her scanner. This is a first contact situation. Zora guided their shuttle to connect with the damaged ship. With a solid thunk, the 2 vessels joined. Stay behind me, Zora told the scientists as they approached the airlock. If anything seems wrong, run back to the shuttle. The airlock opened with a hiss. The air from the other ship smelled strange to Zora's sensitive nose. Not bad, just different. The 3 of them stepped inside. The ship was dark. Zora turned on her light. The inside was simple but well made. There were strange markings on the walls that must be writing. Food packages were floating around. Someone had been living here. Life signs coming from the front, Lynn said, looking at her scanner. They moved forward carefully. The ship wasn't big. They soon reached what looked like a control room. A figure was strapped into one of the chairs, not moving. Is it alive? Foster asked. Lynn checked her scanner again. Yes, but its life signs are weak. Zara moved closer. The being looked almost like the captain's species, but with some differences. It had more muscles. Its skin was darker. And it had fur on the top of its head. We need to get it back to the ship, Zara decided. Together, they carefully unfastened the unconscious being and carried it back to their shuttle. It was heavier than it looked. Once they were safely inside, Zara flew them back to the Stellar Harmony as fast as she could. The medical team was waiting when they arrived. Dr. Brell, the chief medical officer, directed his staff to place the alien on a bed. What do we know? He asked. Nothing, Zara said. We found it alone on a damaged ship. Dr. Brell ran his scanner over the alien's body. His eyes grew wide. He ran the scan again, then a 3rd time. What is it? Captain Voss asked, having just entered the medical bay. I've never seen readings like this, Dr. Brell said. This being comes from a world with higher gravity than Sevrax. The atmospheric pressure would crush most species. The temperature range is extreme. And the radiation levels. He looked at Zora. It's higher than your world. Everyone in the room turned to look at the alien. It didn't look dangerous. It didn't have scales or claws like Zora. How could it survive on a world worse than Sevrax? Just then, the alien's eyes opened. They were brown with round pupils. It looked around the room, at the different alien faces staring at it. But it didn't scream. It didn't try to run. It just blinked a few times. Hi, it said in a deep voice. I'm Jack Miller. Dr. Brell looked shocked. You speak trade language. Is that what you're speaking? Jack asked. No, I have a universal translator. He tapped a small device in his ear. Standard issue for scout ships. You're very calm for someone who just woke up surrounded by aliens, Zara said. Jack looked at her and smiled. I'm from Earth. We're kind of used to adapting to new situations. Captain Voss decided that Zara would be Jack's guide on the ship. It made sense. They were both from harsh worlds. Maybe they would understand each other. Show him around, the captain told Zara. Find out more about his people. But be careful. We don't know much about humans yet. Zara nodded, but inside she felt confused. How could this human come from a world worse than Sevrax? He looked so soft. No scales, no extra muscles, no claws. His teeth were flat, not pointed like hers. How did his kind survive? Jack walked beside Zara down the main hall of the ship. He wore clothes given to him by the medical team. Other crew members stared as they passed. Some looked afraid, Not just of Zara this time, but of Jack too. They're scared of you, Zara said. They found out I'm from Earth, Jack said with a small smile. Dr. Brell told them it's a death world. But you don't look dangerous, Zara said. Then she realized this might sound rude. I know what you mean, Jack said. You look like you come from a tough world. I look like I come from a garden world. But looks can be tricky. They reached the ship's dining area. Crew members sat at tables, eating their meals. When Jack and Zara entered, many of them got up and left. They do that to me too, Zara said. You get used to it. Jack shrugged. Their loss. So what's good to eat around here? After getting food, they sat at an empty table. Jack looked at the strange alien food with interest before trying it. Not bad, he said. Tastes a bit like fish. What's fish? Zara asked. Animals that live in water on Earth, Jack explained. We have lots of different animals, and plants, and weather. Earth has everything. Is it true your gravity is stronger than Severax? Zara asked. Seems like it, from what your doctor said, Jack replied. Earth has different gravity in different places, but yeah, it's pretty strong compared to most worlds. Makes us solid. He tapped his chest. Dense muscles. Strong bones. Suddenly, alarms started ringing. A voice came over the speakers. Warning. Cargo transport system malfunction in Section 8. Zara jumped up. That's close. Come on. They ran down the hall toward Section 8. When they got there, they saw the problem. A large container had broken loose from the transport track on the ceiling. It was hanging by one connector, right above a group of crew members who were trying to get out of the way. Zara started running toward them, but she was on the wrong side of the room. She wouldn't make it in time. The last connector broke. The container began to fall. What happened next shocked Zara. Jack moved so fast, she almost didn't see it. He ran forward, placed himself under the falling container, and caught it. His legs bent under the weight, but he held it up, his face turning red with effort. Get out, he shouted to the trapped crew members. They ran to safety. Zara and others rushed to help Jack lower the container safely to the ground. When it was over, everyone stared at the human. Jack's hands were cut and bleeding from the sharp edges of the container, but he didn't seem to notice. How did you do that? Zara asked. That container weighs more than 4 of me. Jack looked embarrassed. Earth gravity makes you strong. Later, in the medical bay, Dr. Brell treated Jack's hands while talking excitedly. Fascinating. Your muscle density is remarkable. And your reaction speed. And you say all humans are like this. More or less, Jack said. Some stronger, some less strong. We're all different. Zara stood nearby, watching. She had thought she understood what it meant to be from a death world. Now she wasn't so sure. Why don't you have scales or claws? She finally asked. How do you protect yourself? Jack smiled. We don't need them. We have something better. What? Zara asked. Each other, Jack said. And these, he tapped his head. Humans don't survive because we're the strongest. We survive because we're the smartest. Over the next few days, Zara and Jack spent a lot of time together. The captain wanted to learn more about humans, and Jack was happy to talk. Zara found herself interested too. They were in the ship's recreation room. A few other crew members were there, but they stayed far away from the 2 Deathworlders. Show me your world, Zara said. Jack took out a small device from his pocket. It projected images into the air between them. The first image showed a blue and green planet with white clouds. Earth, Jack said with pride in his voice. The images changed. Zara saw tall mountains covered in white stuff called snow. Then huge areas of water called oceans. Then flat areas with tall yellow plants called wheat fields. Then places with so many trees they formed a thick roof called a forest. So many different places, Zara said. Severax is mostly just dry and rocky. Earth has everything, Jack said. Deserts like your world. Frozen places where the air freezes solid. Wet places where it rains every day. Hot places where the ground is on fire. And humans live in all these places? Zara asked. Yep. We adapt, Jack said. We build different homes, wear different clothes, eat different foods, but we can live anywhere. The images changed again. Now Zara saw humans doing different things, building huge structures, flying in machines, swimming in the oceans, climbing the snow mountains. How many humans are there? Zara asked. About 10 billion, Jack said. Zara's eyes widened. That was more than all the council races combined. And you all come from a death world. How do so many of you survive? Jack thought for a moment. We worked together. We weren't the strongest animals on Earth, not the fastest, not the ones with the best claws or teeth, but we could think better than the rest, and we could work together. What happened to the other animals? Zara asked. Jack looked sad. Some are still around. Some we protect now. Some didn't make it. We weren't always good at sharing our world. Zara understood. On Severax, her people had also pushed other species aside to survive. What about your ship? Zara asked, changing the subject. Were you alone? Where were you going? I was on a scout mission, Jack explained. Earth just joined space a few years ago. We're trying to find friends out here. He smiled at Zara. Looks like I found some. Not everyone will be friendly, Zara warned. Some council races are afraid of Deathworlders. They think we're dangerous. Aren't we? Jack asked with a smile. Zara had to smile back. I guess we can be. Later, they went to the ship's training room. Zara wanted to see what Jack could do. They stood facing each other on practice mats. On Severax, children learn to fight early, Zara said. Did you learn to fight on Earth? A little, Jack said. I was in the military before becoming a scout. Zara moved first, fast like she always was. But Jack wasn't where she expected. He had moved just as fast. They circled each other. You're quick for someone without scales, Zara said. You're strong for someone so pretty, Jack replied, then looked embarrassed. Zara felt her scales warm up. No one had called her pretty before. Not here where everyone thought she looked scary. Some crew members had come to watch them. They'd whispered to each other. Are all humans like you? Zara asked as they continued to train. No, we're all different, Jack said. Some are stronger. Some are smarter. Some run faster. Some can make anything with their hands. But together, we're pretty tough. On my world, we survive alone, Zara said. The strong live. The weak don't. That's how Earth started too, Jack said. But we figured out something better. He stopped moving and held out his hand to Zara. We figured out that we're strongest when we work together. Zara looked at his outstretched hand. After a moment, she took it. His skin felt warm against her scales. For the first time since joining the Stellar Harmony, Zara didn't feel alone. One morning, alarms rang throughout the Stellar Harmony. Zara was showing Jack the engine room when the noise started. Red lights flashed in the hallways. All senior officers to the command center, said a voice over the speakers. Zara looked at Jack. Something's wrong. Come with me. They ran to the command center. Captain Voss stood looking at the main screen. Her face was worried. What's happening? Zara asked. We just got an emergency call. The captain said. The research station on Proxim IV needs help. Now, the screen showed a planet with angry red spots on it. Smoke rose from the surface. Volcanoes are erupting all over the planet, explained Officer Plex, who worked at the science station. The air is filling with poison gas. Our research team is trapped there. How many people? Jack asked. 12 scientists, the captain said. They have a shelter, but it won't last long in these conditions. The poison will get in soon. Can we get them out? Zara asked. Captain Voss looked troubled. The closest evacuation ship is 3 days away. The scientists have maybe 12 hours. We could go, Zara said. The Stellar Harmony has rescue shuttles. The conditions on the surface are too dangerous, the captain argued. The heat, the poison air, the falling rocks. It would kill most of my crew. Not me, Zara said. I can survive those conditions, at least for a short time. And not me, Jack added. Earth has volcanoes too. Our bodies can handle smoke and heat better than most. The captain looked at them both. It would take at least 2 people to fly the shuttle and get all the scientists. But it's too risky. We're your only chance, Captain, Zara said. You know I'm built for dangerous places, and now we know humans are too. After thinking for a long moment, Captain Voss nodded. Prepare the rescue shuttle. You leave in 30 minutes. Soon, Zara and Jack were in the shuttle, flying toward the surface of Proxima IV. Through the windows, they could see red lava flowing across the ground. Dark clouds filled the sky. Stay close to me when we land, Zara told Jack. I know you're tough, but this will be dangerous even for us. Jack nodded, his face serious. We'll get those scientists out. Together. They landed near the research station. When they opened the shuttle door, hot, poisonous air rushed in. It smelled like burning rocks. Zara could feel it scrape her lungs when she breathed. Let's go, she shouted over the noise of the erupting volcanoes. They ran to the station. Inside, they found 10 scientists wearing breathing masks. The scientists looked scared but relieved to see them. 2 more are in the North Lab, one scientist said. They were getting important research when the alarms went off. We haven't heard from them since. I'll get the first group to the shuttle, Zara said to Jack. You find the others. Jack nodded and ran down a hallway filled with smoke. Zara led the scientists outside. The air was getting worse. Her eyes burned. Her scales felt hot. But she kept going. She got the scientists onto the shuttle. Stay here, she told them. We'll be back with the others. Zara ran back toward the station. Suddenly, the ground shook. Part of the building collapsed. Zara froze, her heart beating fast. Jack, she called. No answer. She pushed through the fallen parts of the building. The smoke was so thick now, she could barely see. Her chest hurt from the poison air. Even her strong body had limits, and she was reaching them. Jack, she called again, coughing. Then, through the smoke, she saw him. Jack was carrying 2 unconscious scientists, one over each shoulder. His face was streaked with black from the smoke. He was coughing hard. The ceiling fell, he gasped. Had to dig them out. Can you make it to the shuttle? Zara asked, taking one of the scientists from him. Jack nodded, though he looked terrible. Let's go home. Together, they carried the scientists through the collapsing building and back to the shuttle. As they took off, the research station was swallowed by lava. Zara looked at Jack. His skin was burned and his breathing was rough. But he had saved those people. This soft-looking human had just done something many of her own people couldn't do. Maybe, Zara thought, she had more to learn about what made someone strong. Back on the Stellar Harmony, the rescued scientists were safe in the medical bay. Jack was there too, breathing special air to clean his lungs. Zara sat beside his bed, watching him. You almost died back there, she said quietly. Jack smiled weakly. But I didn't. That's the thing about humans. We bend, but we don't break easily. Dr. Brell came over, checking Jack's life signs on a screen. Your body is healing itself very quickly, he said, sounding impressed. Humans have remarkable recovery abilities. We had to evolve that way, Jack explained. Earth tried to kill us many times. Big storms, ice ages, diseases, huge animals that wanted to eat us. But we survived it all. The doctor left them alone. Zara leaned closer to Jack. Tell me more about Earth, she asked. How did humans become so strong? Jack thought for a moment. We weren't always strong. Early humans were small and weak compared to other animals. But we could think better. We made tools. We made fire. We learned to work together in groups. Did you fight wars? Zara asked. On Severax, different groups often fought over resources. Jack's face looked sad. Many wars. Too many. Humans fought each other more than any outside danger. We almost destroyed ourselves several times. But you didn't, Zara said. No. We learned. Slowly, but we learned. We're still learning, Jack said. That's why I was out here. Earth is trying to find peaceful friends in space. We want to join the galaxy as allies, not enemies. Just then, Captain Voss entered the medical bay. She looked serious. Officer Kane, Mr. Miller, we need to talk, she said. The captain showed them a data pad with information about Jack's ship. We've studied your ship's computer, she told Jack, and I found something disturbing. According to Galactic Council records, Earth was discovered 50 years ago. But then it was marked as a prohibited zone. What does that mean? Jack asked, sitting up in his bed. It means some people in the council decided humans were too dangerous to contact. Zara explained, feeling angry. They put your world on a list of places to avoid. Why would they do that? Jack asked. Fear, Captain Voss said simply. When council scouts found Earth, they saw a planet full of predator species who had survived multiple extinction events. They saw a world with so many different environments that its people must be adaptable beyond understanding. And they saw humans who had created powerful weapons and were still fighting each other. So they just left us alone, Jack said, without even saying hello. Some council members wanted to make contact, the captain continued. Others wanted to put up warning beacons to keep ships away from Earth. They argued for years. In the end, they compromised by simply marking Earth as prohibited and keeping it secret. Zara felt her scales rise in anger. That's what they did to Severax at first, too. They were afraid of us, so they stayed away. Until they needed soldiers for their wars. The captain looked uncomfortable. The council doesn't always make good choices, but now we have a problem. Jack's presence on this ship breaks council rules. When we reach the next station, some will want to report this. Others will want to keep it secret. What do you want to do, Captain? Zara asked. Captain Voss looked at them both. I believe in contact between worlds. I think Earth deserves to join the galactic community. But not everyone agrees with me. I need to get home, Jack said. My people need to know we're not alone out here. Zara felt something strange in her chest. If Jack left, she would be alone again. The only Deathworlder on the ship, but she knew he was right. I'll help you, she told Jack. Whatever it takes. Captain Voss nodded. Then we need a plan. Because once the council knows we've made contact with Earth, everything will change. 3 days later, the Stellar Harmony was on its way to Central Station, the main hub of the Galactic Council. Jack was fully recovered now. He and Zara were in the ship's observation room, looking at the stars. We'll reach Central Station tomorrow, Zara said. The captain will speak to the council leaders then. Jack nodded. And I'll find a way home to Earth. Before Zara could respond, alarms started ringing again. Red lights flashed. Attention all crew, came Captain Voss's voice over the speakers. Unknown ship approaching at high speed. Battle stations. This is not a drill. Zara and Jack ran to the command center. The main screen showed a sleek, dark ship coming toward them. It's a hegemony vessel, Officer Plex said with fear in his voice. What's the hegemony? Jack asked Zara quietly. Bad news, Zara whispered back. They're not part of the council. They want to rule the galaxy their way. They take what they want and hurt anyone who stands against them. Captain Voss was giving orders to the crew. Raise shields. Prepare defensive systems. They're hailing us, Officer Plex said. The captain nodded. On screen. A face appeared on the main screen. It belonged to a being with gray skin and cold eyes. Galactic Council vessel, the being said. "This is Commander Vrex of the hegemony ship Dark Claw. We know you have a human on board. Hand it over to us immediately." Jack stepped forward. "I'm right here. What do you want with me?" Commander Vrex smiled, but it wasn't a nice smile. "Our scientists are very interested in studying humans. We've been monitoring Earth for some time. Your species has potential." "He's not going anywhere," Zora said, moving to stand beside Jack. "Then we will take him," Commander Vrex said. The screen went dark. "They're powering weapons," Officer Plex shouted. The ship shook as the first blast hit their shields. "Return fire," Captain Voss ordered. "All crew to emergency stations." More blasts hit the ship. Lights flickered. Zara grabbed Jack's arm to steady him. "Our shields are failing," Officer Plex reported. "They're trying to disable us, not destroy us." "They want to board us," Zara realized. "They're coming for Jack." The ship shook again, harder this time. Then everything went quiet. "They've knocked out our main power," the captain said. "Switch to backup systems." But it was too late. A new alarm sounded. "Multiple breaches in the hull," Officer Plex shouted. "They're boarding us in sections 3, 7, and 12. Captain Voss looked at Zora. "Protect the crew. Protect Jack." Zara nodded and turned to Jack. "We need to move. Now." They ran through the dark hallways of the ship. Emergency lights cast red shadows on the walls. They could hear the sounds of fighting from different parts of the ship. "The hegemony soldiers have enhanced bodies," Zora explained as they ran. "Mechanical parts mixed with biological ones. They're very strong." "Stronger than a Deathworlder?" Jack asked. "We're about to find out," Zara said grimly. They turned a corner and came face to face with 3 hegemony soldiers. They wore black armor and had glowing parts on their bodies. Their eyes looked more like machines than living things. "Target acquired," one of them said in a flat voice. "Capture the human. Kill the Savraxian." Zora moved in front of Jack, her claws extended. "Run," she told him. "I'll hold them off." But Jack didn't run. Instead, he grabbed a metal pipe that had fallen from the damaged ceiling. "I told you before," he said, standing beside Zora. "Humans are strongest when we work together." The first soldier charged at them. Zara ducked under its arm and slashed with her claws. Jack swung the pipe, hitting the soldier in the head. But there were 2 more soldiers. They fired stun weapons. Zara felt pain shoot through her body. She fell to her knees. Through blurry eyes, she saw Jack fighting, moving faster than the soldiers expected. But then one of them hit him from behind. The last thing Zara saw before darkness took her was Jack being dragged away by the hegemony soldiers. Zara woke up in the medical bay. Her head hurt. Her body felt weak, but she was alive. "What happened?" she asked, trying to sit up. Dr. Brell gently pushed her back down. "The hegemony soldiers took Jack. Then they left the ship." "How long was I out?" Zara asked, her voice rising with worry. 6 hours, the doctor said. "The captain wants to see you as soon as you're able." Zara ignored the pain and got up. She had to find Jack. She had to help him. In the command center, Captain Voss was talking to her officers. The ship looked damaged. Wires hung from the ceiling. Screens were cracked. But the crew was working hard to fix everything. "Officer Kane," the captain said when she saw Zara. "Good to see you on your feet." "We need to go after Jack," Zara said without greeting. "The hegemony ship can't be far." "We're tracking them," the captain assured her. "But our engines were damaged in the attack. We can't follow at full speed." Zara felt anger rise inside her. "So we just let them take him. Do you know what they'll do to him? They'll cut him open to see how humans work." The captain looked sad. "I don't want to abandon him either. But what can we do with a damaged ship?" Zora was about to argue more when Officer Plex spoke up. "Captain, I'm getting a strange message. It's coming from the hegemony ship." "Put it on screen," the captain ordered. The screen flickered. Then Jack's face appeared. He looked bruised but alive. He was whispering, "If anyone from the Stellar Harmony can hear this, I need help. I've managed to access a communication system, but I don't have much time. I'm in the ship's lower level, near their engines. There are 20 soldiers on board. Most are on the upper levels. I've learned they plan to take me to a hegemony science station. We'll be there in 4 hours." The screen went dark. "He's alive," Zora said, hope filling her voice. "And he's fighting back. But we still can't catch them in time," the captain said. Zora thought hard. "We don't need to catch them. We need to slow them down." She turned to Officer Plex. "Are there any space phenomena in their path? Anything that might force them to change course?" Officer Plex checked his screens. "There's an asteroid field about 2 hours ahead of them. They'll have to go around it. That will add time to their journey." "No," Zora said. "They'll go through it to save time. They're in a hurry to get Jack to their science station." She looked at the captain. "If we can get our engines working enough to reach the asteroid field before them, we can set a trap." The captain looked interested now. "What kind of trap?" "The kind that only Deathworlders would think of," Zara said with a smile. 2 hours later, Zara was in a small ship at the edge of the asteroid field. The Stellar Harmony was hidden nearby, its engines just barely working. Zara had a plan. A dangerous one. She had studied the asteroid field carefully. The rocks moved in patterns. If she could disrupt that pattern at just the right moment, when the hegemony ship was passing through. Zara checked her instruments. The hegemony ship was approaching. She readied her weapons. "For Jack," she whispered, and fired. The blast hit a large asteroid, pushing it into others. Like falling blocks, the asteroids began to crash into each other. The chain reaction spread through the field, right as the hegemony ship entered it. Zara watched as the ship tried to dodge the suddenly chaotic asteroids. But they couldn't avoid them all. Their ship took hit after hit. Then Zara saw something amazing. A small escape pod launched from the damaged hegemony ship. Her instruments showed one life form inside. "He did it," she said with a smile. "He escaped." Zora flew to the pod and connected their airlocks. When the door opened, Jack stood there, looking tired but happy. "Took you long enough," he joked. Zora surprised herself by hugging him. "How did you get away?" "I used what you taught me about being a Deathworlder," Jack said. "I was patient. I was tough. I waited for my moment." As they flew back to the Stellar Harmony, Zara realized something important. She had spent her life feeling alone, thinking no one could understand what it meant to come from a world that tried to kill you. Now she knew better. She wasn't alone anymore, and neither was Jack.